Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Let me get a little intro going because I haven't shared this with everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Oh my goodness, there's been a change in how my settings are. I don't know why. I woke up and I'm like, all these changes. What's happening here? What's happening? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me share this with everybody. Let's do a little intro so we can get started. Let's go. Hold up. Wait a minute. Bruh. Did you hit the like button? Drop some rabbits in the chat. Let's go.
Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, hit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. If you want the tea, come see me. Rabbit hole is the place to be for real news, not fake news. Celebrity news, breaking news around the clock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock, I rock, I rock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, big chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. True crime is my specialty. Exposed in the industry. Unsolved mysteries. Sticking to reality. Fair use commentary. Talking about cults. Trying to get results. Exploring cults. Exploring. Researching. Debunking. Investigating. Being nosy. Super nosy. Being messy. Being shady. Rabbit hole news. That's me. The chick with ADHD. Unmedicated. But quite educated. Hit that like. Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit chat. Hit that like. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop some drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Hit that like. Hit that like. Let's go. Let's go. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Shout out to everybody. Listen, it has been quite the weekend. I'm tired. I actually slept in today. Unapologetic. I like to do my lives like early in the morning. If you guys know, you know. But I slept in. I was like, no, not today. Not today. I didn't feel like getting up today. So yeah, not today. It is what it is. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Oh my goodness, I'm seeing some of my people that are coming through. Some of y'all had checked out during the Diddy trial, and that's okay. The Diddy trial wasn't for everybody. I completely understand. We have some new people in the house, so welcome to our new people. New people, welcome. The older, wonderful day one supporters, welcome. Those that checked out during the Diddy trial, completely understand. So I get it. But we are actively looking for, well, I'm not really looking. I kind of know where I'm going to go as far as covering the next couple of cases that are going to come up. So it's going to be an interesting ride for the next couple of months. But yeah, you're so glad. Everybody's like, we're done. I know that there's a lot of like back and forth going on right now with the yes, well, shout out to you. Shout out to BJ. Shout out to BJ. I expected that there would be some like infighting or kind of stuff. It seemed like that was like the thing all weekend. I don't know, man. I wasn't there, so it is what it is. That's what I gotta say. People are coming for everybody. The breaking news about people missing in Texas yes, I did. Lady Victoria actually talked about it a little bit yesterday. And so we're just trying to get more information because the information out of the Mystic camp is just so Like, I feel like we're getting different kinds of information, so hopefully we'll get that a little bit more squared away. Anything regarding natural disasters or stuff like that, I'm always kind of leery because I never really know like what caused it, but this is a flood, so clearly I consider that a natural disaster. Fires, another one. You just kind of have to keep mindful of that, and it's just a sad situation because the majority of the victims are children. That's my understanding. A young girls' camp. So yes, yeah, it's very sad because the numbers are definitely they're kind of growing every day. So there is that. You say it is really sad. Absolutely. Hey, Berlin, how are you? Everybody come through. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. So we're going to keep an eye on it, but we did talk about it yesterday. And I'm just kind of waiting for more news to develop to kind of maybe go over it again. Okay. With regards to Diddy trial, I kind of expected that different things were going to pop out. People were going to have different narratives about stuff. That's kind of how I expected that. There's nothing more to it. Like tomorrow we have a hearing and we're definitely going to keep an eye out for Diddy. There's going to be I don't want to say it's not the it's a hearing to I believe is for the PSI, which is the probation report that they're trying to get going in order for there to be a release in October, potentially on bail. I'm not really sure. But tomorrow is going to be a hearing. It's going to be on Zoom. We talked about that through the transcripts. So I might go live tomorrow. I don't think we'll have access. There's no way that we're going to have access to the Zoom. I highly doubt it. But if we do, then we're going to jump on it like we always jump on and everything. So yeah, so we'll keep an eye on it. Okay. Since we're on Diddy, let's go ahead and talk about Diddy. So his lawyers, now let me see. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, hold up 1 minute. Sorry, guys, I had to deal with something. Um, the trial is over. It is what it is, and I think we should have been wait. We should be wait to see how much time he's going to get for the restitution or ostitution charges. That's kind of where we're at right now, right? It is over. But I suspected that things were going to get a little bit crazy. So let me tell you what happened. So I guess in the jail, prison, or whatever, this was reported. Now, this is local news, and this is where I got this information from as well. And of course, then TMZ and everybody else took it from there. Sean Diddy Combs gets standing ovation from inmates after court verdict victory, his lawyers say. Sean Diddy Combs got a standing ovation from fellow inmates when the music mogul returned to jail after winning acquittals on potential life in prison charges, providing what his lawyer says might have been the best thing he could do for incarcerated Black men in America. They all said, "We never get to see anyone who beats the government," Mark Agnifilo told the Associated Press in a weekend interview days after a jury acquitted Combs of trafficking and racketeering conspiracy charges. Combs, 55, remained in jail as at a federal lockup in Brooklyn after his conviction. People calling me. After his conviction Wednesday of prostitution related charges, which could put him in prison for several more years. Any sentence will include credit for time already served, which I believe has been 10 months. So far, that's almost 10 months. There you go. After federal agents raided Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami area in March of 2024, Agnifilo said he told the "I'll Be Missing You" singer to expect to be arrested on trafficking. I said, maybe it's your faith in life to be the guy who wins. He recalls during a telephone interview briefly interrupted by a jailhouse call for Combs. They need to see that someone can win. I think he took that to heart. Okay, blunt trial strategy worked. The verdict in Manhattan federal court came after a veteran team of 8 defense lawyers, led by Agnifilo, executed a trial strategy that resonated with jurors. Combs passed lawyers' notes during effective cross-examination of nearly 3 dozen witnesses over 2 months, including Combs' ex-employees. The lawyers told jurors Combs was a jealous domestic abuser with a rug problem who participated in a swinger lifestyle though through threesomes, including Combs, his girlfriend, and another man. You may think it's you may think to yourself, wow, he is a really bad boyfriend, Combs' lawyer Tina Garagos told jurors in her May opening statement. But that, she said, is simply not as trafficking. Hoo-wee. So, yes. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Oh my God, B Tim. Thank you for the $10. It's a sad state of affairs. Instead of criminals being shunned and shamed, they're celebrated as heroes. This shows how social media has a warped society as a whole. Diddy is just another example of it. Diddy's not walking a free man. He was charged. Look, I respect, even though people are kind of back and forth on the jurors, I respect the verdict. I do. I really do. I may not agree with certain aspect of it, but I respect it because you have to kind of trust the process in terms of like, all right, so they selected these people. I'm not buying, even though people have put this out here, that certain people got paid off. First of all, there's no evidence of that. We don't know. I don't know anything of that. Maybe if a journalist out there does a deep dive and shows, oh my God, juror number this and that got paid off, and then here they are buying a lavish lifestyle house or whatever. I'm not buying that because I haven't seen it. And I think that if we put that narrative out there, it's a bit irresponsible. At the end of the day, Diddy's not a free man. He might have not, been found guilty of the first racketeering charge, but he's not a free man. His life is still on the ballot. He could very well spend 20 years, 10 years, 4 years, or 5 years. We don't know. So I think that we have to kind of keep that in mind, that it's like, he's not, yes, they won the first one. Great. No life sentence, but we don't know what it's going to look like moving forward. Personally, I don't know. This judge I thought was very interesting because he used the defense's own words, guys, to say, wait a minute, you have this track record. You're not refuting your track record. You're not saying I'm not a DV abuser. Nothing is being refuted. If anything, the defense doubled down. So he used, I don't know if people picked this up, he used the defense's own argument to make that argument that this man cannot be trusted in society quite yet. So, and then I know people are going after the judge. I thought the judge was fair too. I didn't get the sense that the judge was unfair in any of it, but that's just my thought. That's just my thought on that. Oh my God, is Lindell in here? Lindell, look, Lindell decided to continue to be in the chat. Shout out to Lindell. MB Tim, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. But that's just my thought, guys. You guys can totally make up your, like I said, I've heard the other argument who says the judge was unfair. Really? The judge, it's up to this judge's discretion as to what he wants to do moving forward. He could use, he's allowed to use all of the evidence, regardless of how it landed with the jury, to determine what the sentencing is going to look like. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. But we don't know. And to be fair, like, people, like, for example, on the side of the victims, for example, like, now that things, this trial's over. We can't do nothing. It's over, right? Sure, they can appeal, they can do all kinds of things, but if there's one thing that I have learned, personally, and let me know what you guys think in the comments, is that if you're a YouTuber and you're reporting on this case, right? Like a lot of people reported on and said things as fact when they had no facts to back that up, right? Diddy's gonna get 20 years to life. Diddy's this, Diddy's that. I'm just like, you don't know that. Diddy, the prosecutor dropped the charges. No, that never happened. So it's stuff like that like, and it's kind of sad because it's like bigger YouTubers that kind of do this shit. And it's almost like they have insider information that we don't, or at least they purport to have it. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. If that's the case, it's really sad because a lot of us, we're just here working with what we got, like anybody else, if you know what I mean. B Tim, thank you so much for the $10. I understand why you respect the jury's decision, but the jury should have convicted him of S trafficking in RICO. Just because a RICO was all for his benefit doesn't mean it wasn't a RICO case. Thank you, B Tim. Shout out to B Tim. Thank you so much for the $10. And Diddy, my dad, by the way, speaking of L Diddy. And this is why I love B Tim, by the way, because like we have differences of opinion, and he's been a long time supporter of this channel. Thank you, B Tim. My dad, I had to explain to y'all know we came up with El Diddy because my dad's like old school Mexican. And people, the way they report this case is just funny, but El Diddy. So I had to explain to my dad like what the breakdown was, because he was like, well, El Diddy dijeron que ya no tiene los cargos, meaning he doesn't have the charges anymore. And I'm explaining, like Dad, like, yes, he was acquitted of the first, but he still has like 2 other ones under the Mann Act. So I had to kind of explain that to Dad. He didn't understand. I'm not really good at explaining things sometimes, especially in Spanish. So there's that, but it is what it is. I know. B Tim is amazing. Yes, he is. Shout out to B Tim. So I think that I don't know personally. I'm just kind of in that stance. I believe, this is just my opinion, kind of like what B Tim said. I do believe that Cassie, more so Cassie than Jane Doe, I thought was, and I still think is a huge victim of this. I think Diddy knew that. I think he knew that a long time ago. I'll never forget that BET statement that he made where, he wanted to make sure that he thanked Cassie for always being there during the dark times. It's a horrible situation. I'm a little bit older than Cassie by like maybe a year or two. So like I said, I don't know how you reconcile something like this, especially when it's so public, right? That no matter what you do or what, regardless if, she loved this man. I believe when she says she loved this man, but I also believe that this man had her career in her hands. And maybe there were aspects where she was ready to leave, but she couldn't because of that. Maybe there were aspects of certain parts. And when you're in a situation like that, it's very easy for outsiders to not really have a bigger picture of the scope or the complexity of that situation, because it's not always as black and white as people make it out to be. You should have left. You weren't abused. This didn't happen to you. People are very quick to say that without really knowing the bigger picture. We don't know. We weren't in that relationship. I could have read the transcripts every day, and it still wouldn't have answered the deeper questions that a lot of us had. It still wouldn't have answered maybe why Regina intervene, or what Regina did, or what any other outsiders did. It still wouldn't have answered that. And even after all these people that are coming out, like the chef or like other folks that are coming through, it still doesn't answer a lot of the questions that we have, right? We still don't know anything. So I have a lot of like, it's like the unknown of the things, if you know what I mean. It's just an unknown. Man, it looks like the chat froze. I don't know if it did or if it didn't. Hopefully it didn't. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Melita. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. It's good. It's how the victims will rationalize the bad into the good. That's right. So like I said, people are gonna some people feel like Cassie's a victim and some people don't. And maybe this is a sure, the RICO was it was what it was. I personally respect it, but you guys are entitled to your opinion. And shout out to you guys. You said the jurors did not pay attention to the Sykes testimony. Roberta, that testimony, and I told you guys from the beginning, they fumbled. Dr. Hughes, I think that's what you're talking about. Okay. I gave this example the other day that I was live. I said, guys, that Dr. Hughes testimony was not good. Because if Dr. Hughes, which was very clearly instructed of her, she couldn't talk about coercive control. The defense was ready to go after her for speaking on coercive control, right? She couldn't do that. But the prosecution picked somebody who, by social media standards or by whatever norms, even though some people don't weigh that in, people were not going to be too fond of her at all. If any of those jurors had watched the Johnny Depp trial, which wasn't part of the jury questionnaire, by the way, they would have known that this woman did not do very good at that trial. They would have known that that the woman was biased, that she was more focused on a certain aspect of treatment versus being a little bit more well-rounded, not only on victimology but offender. You have to have somebody that's a little bit well-rounded on both. So when she got on the stand, she didn't do a good job in explaining both sides of it, because I don't know if she's well equipped. She's getting paid $6,000 to stand there, $600 an hour. And it was a whole nothing burger, guys. A whole nothing. So I have to wonder about that. It did not do a good job. They did not do a good job with that person, with that professional. Let's see. I believe that this subject needs to be discussed with our daughters and sons and be watching with careful eyes. And Band-Aid Memories, I'm so glad that you said with daughters and sons, because people think that there's only one kind of victim, or there's only a certain kind of victim. Victims are everywhere. Could be all kinds of victims. Men and women can be victims as well. So, right, Joe, it was a good gig to get, but it didn't, she didn't do well by it at all. She didn't. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for saying this. So when she answered that question, when the defense got at her and said, "So you're only worried about like victims. You're not focused on the offender, and you really need to be. And you really need to be. Like you need to be very well focused, not just on victims, but offender treatment too. How can you ask to because here's the deal, it's part of the cycle. Victims can become perpetrators, right? How are you going to treat a victim without having the knowledge, or at least the schooling or the experience to know that victims can also become perpetrators? That's check it out. It's on research. That's all kinds of psych research and everything. That woman did not do a good job on the stand. She was not equipped to something like that. She just wasn't. She just wasn't. That's it. You have to understand. Yeah, this is where the saying comes from. They do. Okay, so that's that. I kind of expected like the craziness out of the Diddy trial. So listen, we're gonna keep moving and chucking. Shout out to everybody. I think a lot of content creators did a good job, even though I didn't agree personally with the tactics of some content creators like Tisa Tales. I told you guys I'm not a fan. I'm not. I've had experiences where she's stolen content that I have seen and I can attest to. she's stolen content from other folks, talking points from other folks. She did it with the Shanquella Robinson case. You can argue with me until I'm blue about that. You're not going to change my mind because I saw it with my own eyes years ago. And so I'm not at all surprised that any of this is happening, but I still don't think that she should be shut down for her opinion, whatever it may be. Just don't lie. Just don't lie. Like, I think that's what gets people mad at people is when people lie. It's one thing to have an opinion. It's another thing to lie and be wrong about things and not correct yourself. Nobody likes somebody like that. You just don't. But hey, she's got an audience. And at the end of the day, she did a good job. But that's just my thought on that. That's just my thought on that. All right, guys. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. We need to talk about listen, guys. Elon Musk. Now, you guys know I have not been a fan of Eladio Musk. I have not been a fan of Elon Musk. I'm just not. I'm not a fan. Okay. But apparently, like, while we've been, well, this was before, the bromance between Diddy and Trump has like there's no more bromance. They broke up. Okay. They broke up. Right. So now Elon is like going scorch earth on Twitter. Yeah. Eladio. His name is Eladio. Eladio. Yo, there's a lot of Elon Musk fans out there. Don't get mad at me. I'm not a fan. Okay. I'm not. I just can't stand the guy. He needs to focus on his family and his children that have various different names with numbers and letters and dots and brackets. Focus on those kids because I'm a little worried about your children, Elon. Eladio. His name is Eladio. That's how you say it in Spanish. Eladio. Eladio, go focus on your kids because they got all kinds of brackets and things. And anyways, so Roberta, what do you think about that? So Elon's having like a little meltdown, you know? Well, I heard he's gonna get deported. Speran, and by the way, Speran, thank you so much for the 199. Can I ask what region of the states you're in? I'm in the region that is somewhere in the middle of stuff, if you know what I mean. I don't ever give my location, but Speran, thank you so much for the 199. Isn't Elon from? Yeah, I think he's like from South Africa or something like that. I heard the people are saying that Elon, you about to get deported. You about to. That's what they said. Now that could be a rumor. Okay. That could be a rumor, which it wouldn't surprise me, but that's right, itchy thing. Elon, I want you to focus on little A6HQ4 hashtag junior Eladio. Focus on those. Okay. Now, let me just say this. I personally don't I don't care for Elon. I really don't. But this whole situation with the Epstein list, we're being gaslit, guys. Like, I feel like we're being gaslit by the government. I feel like we're being gaslit by the media. There's just which wouldn't surprise anybody. So, what's the Axios? I think it's Axios. They dropped this article, right? And so then everybody's pulling from this article. Elon is having a meltdown on Twitter, which I'm like, don't you like own Twitter? He's got 2.5 billion or million subscribers because the man owns Twitter, right? I mean, he could totally do something with that Twitter, right? Like it's his social media. Nobody's social media but his. He could totally do something with it. So he's having a meltdown on social media. I've never in my life, like, you know how they say that we need to be adulting more? I don't think we have really great examples of that. Like, honestly, for us to really, what does it mean to adult anymore? When you could just be a gazillionaire and, have meltdowns on social media. I'm down for it. I don't get it. So I have the government's whole breakdown. So we're going to review that. But I just have to tell you. So here's an exclusive. Eladio is having a meltdown. Okay, let me tell you what's going on. Okay, now let me remove this little comment out of my head. It's still around. Isn't that crazy? So, I mean, they don't have a lot of ads, which is kind of cool. Exclusive. DOJ, FBI concludes Epstein had no client list. Died by suicide. President Trump's Justice Department and FBI have concluded that they have no evidence that convicted offender and disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed powerful figures, kept a client list, or was murmur, according to a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios. Which, like I said, I have the memo. We're gonna review it. I actually have it queued up here. The administration is releasing a video in both raw and enhanced versions that it says indicates no one entered the area of Manhattan prison where Epstein was held the night he died in 2019. Um, just so people are aware, that's where Diddy's at too. That's where Luigi Mangioni's at. I mean, that's where they're all at. Okay. The video supports a medical examiner's finding that Epstein died by um suicide. The 2-page memo claims why it matters. The findings represent the first time Trump's administration has officially contradicted conspiracy theories about Epstein's activities and his death, theories that had been pushed by the FBI top 2 officials before Trump appointed them to the bureau. Why is this a contradiction? Snoop Dogg, can you tell me why this matters? Because I need to know. Hold up. I don't want Emily. I want Snoop Dogg to read this for me. Features here.
What up, though? It's Big Snoop D-O double G.
I don't think you guys can hear it. Can y'all hear it? Can you hear it? Yeah, that's Snoop. Snoop just read it for us. You can't hear it? Some of you guys heard it? No, he's muted? Okay. I can't play it because I'm going to have to exit out. There's something going on. Snoop Dogg read that for me. You guys didn't hear it. Okay. So I know there was a setting. I have Snoop Dogg on Speechify, and he could read things. For whatever reason, you guys didn't hear it. That's okay. So here's my question, right? Here's my question. Wasn't this something that was promised to us during the election? That we were going to finally have all this shit release? I don't know if you guys remember if the current administration promised that to the people. That things were going to be released, that things were going to be exposed, that things were going to be said. He sure did, right? There's a lot of people that voted for him in my comments, and that's fine. You guys are, it's completely up to you, whatever you, but this was a thing that was promised to us. Like, you're not going to gaslight us. Like, we know. As much as I'm not a fan of Elon, him wanting to do a third party, which I'm like, well, we've already had several parties, but I don't like any of these political people. I don't like Biden. I don't like Trump. I don't like any of these people. I felt like to me, it felt like choose your poison. Which one do you want? Choose your poison. I don't like any of these people. I don't. To me, I don't know if it's like, I just don't trust any of these people. That's it. I never have. Yeah, he announced it yesterday. How is this any different, Storm, than anything else we've already had? We've already had so many other political parties. Oh my God. Yes. Professional liars, guys. They give us what we want to hear. And this is why I don't like the politicians. They only care about us every 4 years when they're ready for us to make a decision. I don't trust any of these people. I never have. So when people said, well, there was nothing on that list, but that's what they promised us. What did they promise the Venezuelans? I will vote for God. I'm not Venezuelan, by the way. Shout out to Venezuelans, but they did do this. I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. I was like, Huh? A lot of the Venezuelans ate that. And I'm like, do you guys don't have a what? They believed it, and now there's like lawsuits happening, and people are getting deported. Elon, you might be next. Hell, your kids aren't going to help you out. Who were born here, little ABC X Y and D and all hashtag 123. That doesn't matter. So now you want to start a different political party? When you supported this man and you sat there and you thought you were some kind of an avenger over this? It's weird to me. Weird to me. Anyways, I just want to remind the people that we were promised this list. I just want to remind the people that we were promised this. We were promised a lot of things. Okay? All right. As a social media influencer and activist, Kash Patel, now the FBI's director, listen, people, I couldn't understand this part. Social media influencers are becoming FBI directors, national leaders, directors, and stuff like that. Some of us fucking went to school to kill each other for positions in high regards, right? Like that's one thing I noticed is like that there's no regard for education anymore. Put anybody up there. The lady from what is it? The educational lady who got replaced by what's his name's Ed McMahon's wife. She's up in that position too. Why? Was she ever a teacher? She might have taught Sunday school. I don't know. But was she ever a teacher? Did she ever, lead teachers? And somehow she's up in the head of these people. Like you guys don't understand. It's like the value of education has just gone down the toilet. I'm not understanding why. I don't get it. It's so weird to me. It's so backwards at this point. It's crazy. Ooh. Hold up. I hear Baby Bunny. Okay. All right. So, anyways, and it keeps going. A social media influencer, now activist Kash Patel, the FBI director, and Dan, is it Bongino, now deputy director, were among those in MAGA world who questioned the official versions of how Epstein died. So is Kash and Dan going to change that little narrative now? Kind of wonder. Patel and Dan have since said Epstein K'd himself, but it has become an article of faith online, especially on the right, that Epstein's crimes also implicated government officials, celebrities, and business leaders. I mean, isn't it convenient that let's talk about conspiracy? And this is just my thought. Virginia Giuffre, her family, quickly after they found her, she committed S, guys. She committed S. And that's not of suspicion to anybody. This year. And then we get this news right here. Huh? I don't trust anybody. Patel and Dan have since said Epstein K'd himself. Okay. The memo says no one else involved in Epstein case will be charged. Epstein's associate, Maxwell, is serving a 20-year sentence for child S trafficking and related offenses. So why is she serving a 20-year sentence if nobody else is going to be charged? What do we say? I mean, the main guy, they're saying he did it to himself. I don't believe it. I don't. Especially because that's the agenda that a lot of people have been pushing from that side. So now you guys change your narrative? Why? Why? I am so suspicious about these people. I really am. Okay, according to the memo, investigators closely examined footage of Epstein's Manhattan prison cell between around 10:40 p.m. and August 9, 2019, when Epstein was locked in the cell, and around 6:30 a.m. the next day when he was found unresponsive. The footage, which was reviewed by Axios but couldn't be verified independently, showed no one entering the area, the administration said. Are they going to release that footage? The FBI enhanced the relevant footage by increasing the contrast, balancing the color, and improving its sharpness for greater clarity and viewability, the memo says. Investigators found no incriminating lists of Epstein's, no credible evidence that Epstein's blackmailed prominent individuals, and no evidence that could predicate an investigation against an uncharged third parties, the memo adds. Okay, let's get to that memo. Yo, let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's already out. Maybe I missed it. Thank you. It doesn't show anything. I don't believe any of these people, guys. I don't. At all. Yes, right? I'll have to check it out, Captain EO. Thank you so much. Hold up. Let me show you guys. Okay, let's read this together. This was released from the U.S. Department of Justice, the FBI. It's part of our commitment to transparency. Oh, bullshit. Already. Decline. Take it back. As part of our commitment to transparency, it says. The Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigations have conducted an exhaustive review of investigative holdings related to Jeffrey Epstein. To ensure that the review was thorough, the FBI conducted digital searches of its databases, hard drives, and network drives, as well as physical searches of squad areas, locked cabinets, desks, closets, and other areas where responsive material may have been stored. These searches uncovered a significant amount of material, including more than 300 gigabytes of data and physical evidence. The files related to Epstein's included a large volume of images of Epstein's images and videos of victims who are either minors or appear to be minors. Over 10,000 downloaded videos and images of illegal SA material, of child SA material, and other teams of agents, analysts, attorneys, and privacy and civil liberty experts combed through the digital and documentary evidence with the aims of providing as much information as possible to the public while simultaneously protecting victims. Much of the material is subject to court order sealing. Only a fraction of this material would have been aired publicly had Epstein gone to trial, as the seals served only to protect victims and did not expose any additional third parties to allegations of illegal wrongdoing. Through this review, we found no basis to revisit the disclosure of those materials and will not permit the release of child prawn, which is fine. We don't want child prawn, especially if they're known victims. This systematic reviews revealed no incriminating client lists. The sentence right there. This systematic review revealed no incriminating client lists. So those flight logs that were released years ago, I want to say 5 years ago or 6 years ago, that have already been out there, where these influencers went to the White House and they got the same shit, and then they were going crazy showing it off, and it turns out it was a big nothing burger. It was information that was already released, right? It was a big PR stunt that they did. And I give those influencers a lot of shit, because some of those influencers have stood on, well, this is the truth, but they never went back and said, guys, this is the same information that we got. The White House just invited us and gave us a cute little binder. Okay. They're saying that this systematic review revealed no incriminating client lists. The flight logs aren't incriminating. There was also no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. Okay. We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. Okay. So all of these Epstein victims, some of which are unknown, right? Are they liars? What are we saying here with this? And Virginia Giuffre can't speak on this anymore, right? Because she's gone. What are we saying with this? I'm so confused. See, I'm never going to forget this, okay? I'm never going to forget this shit right here. And I hope you guys don't either. Okay? Both political parties, like I'm like, listen, this stuff should have been done during the Biden time. It should have been done before that. Like all of this stuff. Like I'm just never going to forget this shit at all. Because none of these people had anybody's best interest. There's just so much damn red tape around this. And kind of, choose your own adventure, make up your own mind about what you make of this. So was none of this real? Like, you're not going to gaslight me. Mm-hmm. All of this. Then they said to us, well, I'm still getting messages on this. Well, guess what? That's what it is. Time to change. Like, we can't just say this is where people get really messed up. And I really I wish people would just wake up from this a little bit, right? It doesn't matter what side you vote for. What matters is what did they produce? What do they do? And how do they act upon, the things that they said they were going to do? That's kind of where I'm at. You can say a lot of shit about Biden because I definitely agree that Biden wasn't the best at all. But I can say a lot of shit about Trump because I don't agree with his side either at all. I feel like all of these political parties fail us at times when we need the human element to this. They tend to forget they're 50 layers removed from the people in the community that actually impacts, some of the decisions that they make. It's so top heavy when it comes to this. It's not people centered at all. It never has been. Even the people, when Elon talks about a third party, a lot of these third parties aren't people centered as well. I don't know. We are the laughing stock of a lot of countries because of this shit. And not that I care that people make fun of us. I really don't care. And I'm closing my eyes because I'm trying to think and just kind of process a little bit of what I want to say when it comes to things like this. They don't give a shit about us. They don't give a shit about people. They don't care. They never have. I hope to live long enough for people to maybe one day, if it becomes a situation where people get elected or a person gets elected, that there's a human aspect to this. It isn't. They don't give a shit. You're not gonna make everybody happy. You just aren't. You aren't. We know that. But none of these people give a shit about us. They don't care about victims. This was promised. Look at this. Matter of fact, that's how they led the agenda to the election. We're gonna finally uncover this. Hey, guess what? There was nothing. But thank you for your vote. All right. Consistent with prior disclosures, this review confirmed that Epstein harmed over 1,000 victims. Did he do that on his own? He couldn't have done that on his own. Consistent with prior disclosures, this review confirmed that Epstein harmed over 1,000 victims. He didn't do it on his own. There has to be other people involved. Okay? How does somebody harm 1,000 people on his own? How? Each suffered unique trauma. Sensitive information relating to these victims is intertwined throughout the material. This includes specific details such as victims' names, likeness, physical descriptions, places of birth, associates, and employment history. One of our highest priorities is combating child exploitation and bringing justice to victims. Perpetuating unfound theories about Epstein serves neither of those ends. Cash Patel, you sold out. Right there. All those people, they sold out from social media, pushing those narratives and conspiracy theories, as people like to say, to make people vote for one area. And look, pushing those unfounded theories. Now they're calling them unfounded theories. When there has been pictures and evidence and testimonies and stuff like that, now suddenly all of this is unfounded. Says who? The FBI? Why? Because you guys are sitting on information that you won't release to the public? Huh? They really don't care about us, guys. Absolutely. Thank you, Tony. They don't care about us. Too much ego involved. Absolutely. You have to have this ego to run for office. Oh my God. A weenie. A weenie. Completely. I have to make up a song. They don't care about us. They don't care about us. That's going to be a song that I'm going to make up somehow, be an AI song or something. Okay. Consistent with prior disclosures, this review confirmed that Epstein harmed over 1,000 victims. But okay, one of our highest priorities is combating child exploitation and bringing justice to victims. Perpetuating unfounded theories does none of that. Okay, to that end, while we have labored to provide the public with maximum information regarding Epstein and ensure the examination of any evidence in the government's possessions, it is the determination of the Department of Justice and Federal Bureau of Investigations that no further disclosure would be appropriate or unwarranted. So for those that were waiting for files, for pictures, you're SOL. Is that what I'm hearing? We have been gaslighting you. Hey, United States of America, you have been gaslit. Okay? You've been pushed to vote. You were promised things more than once. This is not the only thing. There's been other things, right? But here's a good example of it. We're not asking for the government to release child prom. That's not what we want. We don't want sensitive information. That's not at all. But come the hell on. What did you promise these people? What did you promise everybody? There's going to be a list. There's going to be a list. There's explosive things that are happening. You have all kinds of people. Hell, who's the one that's been pushing this a lot? What is her name? She was a former journalist. And she's been on Twitter pushing that certain things were going to get released, and here's nothing. It's a nothing burger. Nothing was going to get released. And listen, I can accept when there's nothing to be released. I can look at the evidence and be like, yeah, this was really nothing. But nothing is going to get released. Why? After a thorough investigation, the FBI investigators concluded that Jeffrey Epstein committed S in his cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City on August 10, 2019. That's what happened to Virginia Giuffre as well, right? She committed S. He committed S. They either commit S or get pneumonia. Like literally, there's nothing else to it. This conclusion is consistent with previous filings, including the August 19, 2019 autopsy finding of the New York City Office of the Chief Medical Examiners, the November 2019 position of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York in connection with the investigation, federal correctional officer responsible for guarding Epstein, and the June 2023 conclusion of the DOJ's Office of the Inspector General. The conclusion that Epstein died by S is further supported by video footage from the common area of the special housing unit where Epstein was housed at the time of his death. As DOJ Inspector General explained in 2023, anyone entering or attempting to enter the tier where Epstein's cell was located from the from the SHU comment area would have been captured by this footage. The FBI independent review of this footage confirmed that from the time Epstein was locked in his cell at around 10:40 p.m. on August 9th, 2019 until around 6:30 a.m. the next morning, nobody entered any of the tiers in the SHU. During this review, the FBI enhanced the relevant footage by increasing its contrast, its color, and improving sharpness of greater viewability and clarity. The raw footage and enhanced videos are available on the link. I haven't seen it, so let's look at it. Okay, can you guys see that? There it is. Okay. Let's see how long it is. There's no sound to it. Yeah, I don't think. It is 10 minutes and 52:23. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. There's nothing. I guess somebody said it was a nothing burger. Thank you. You said so its cell is the one on the bottom floor, is not the one on the top floors. But the camera was there the whole time? I don't know, man. Isn't that convenient? And we're not supposed to speculate? This wasn't the real footage, the one that the FBI released? Lord have mercy. I think they are. Thank you. Shout out to Vic. Look, listen. Vic is the most logical, focus-centered person. And if she says they're full of doo-doo, they're full of shit. It is, Lindell. You're right. What is this video? It's not going to show anything? Nothing. But why would... Oh, so that's what they're saying. But this is the FBI. That's what they released? I don't believe nothing. I don't believe nothing that these people put out, guys. I really don't. I don't believe any of these people. I don't. I mean, we're not going to see anything eventful. Okay? Nothing. And I guess Elon could have his meltdowns, but Elon, you're full of shit. I hope you know. Go focus on your children, man, because you literally did a number on this country. Honestly, you could have done something different, and now people are going against Elon. They should deport him. They should do this. Well, that's what you get. That's what you get. You're full of shit. Anyways, so that's what happened. There's nothing we're going to find here. Exactly. Who knows? They'll find whatever they can to believe their narrative. That was that. There's nothing else. Nobody went to check it. I mean, this guy's like a gazillionaire high profile. He's that high profile. There's no evidence of his cell, and no one knew he was dead until the next day. That's BS. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not at all. Mm-mm. Exactly. It doesn't even matter. Now they're just gonna take this shit and he'll be poor. We just learn on how. Edited or not, the view isn't even of his cell. It's such a bad lie that I can't find it I find it personally insulting. No and no in-cell camera. Come on, yeah. I'm not buying it. So we'll never know. And that's that. And they're not going to visit it. And then you have, again, I just don't want people to forget. Don't forget who pushed this. Don't forget what was promised during the election. This was it. This was one of the things, right? Don't forget all those social media, people that push this. Okay? Don't forget. The next time that people come into my comments, well, no. They pushed this on us. Okay? They said that this was going to happen. People were promised this. Some people elected this official for this. I don't want to hear it. You're not going to gaslight me. You're not going to change my mind. That's it. That's all. There's nothing else to it. I don't believe it. Case closed. It is what it is. Anyways, I'm done talking about this because it just makes me so mad. And it really just gets to my nerves. Hell, even TMZ, just crazy. Look, TMZ is pointing out the bromance is done. Elon goes nuclear in tweets responding to Epstein files DOJ/FBI memo. This is the final straw. No, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing, Elon. You're an asshole. I'm sorry. He is. You push this on people. You did. You used Twitter to do it. You used all those people that are subscribed, all your followers. You pushed it. Okay, because you thought it would have been a benefit for you. Because a lot of these rich people, that's what they do. They don't give a shit about the people. They don't. You did that. You did that. And now your bromance is done. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Anyways, moving forward and moving on. I just don't want us to be gaslit. That's all. And I'm not buying it. Yes, right. Stick there. Rabbit, just so you know, this is why I only have recommending your channel, not the SA Grifter channel anymore. Oh my God, misinformation. Thank you for shout out to you. Thank you. Y'all ready to move on? Let's talk about Tiny and T.I. And again, I was very specific. I guess this video got leaked too. Well, not leaked. T.I. gave a statement. So for those that don't know, let me give you a little bit of a backstory, a shorter version, okay? So back in 2021, Tiny and T.I. were accused by Tyrone Blackburn and Sabrina Peterson of trafficking, of essaying women, okay? So people are aware. They were accused of that. And Tyrone Blackburn submitted various letters to attorneys, to general attorneys, district attorneys, and stuff like that to have Tiny and T.I. investigated. There was about 31 alleged victims that came forward, allegedly, because it went from 31 to 0. No victims, nothing, right? Some of these allegations were pretty big. Like one of them that I remember was that Tiny and T.I. had rugged these women and they were having parties, right? They're having these parties. They were rugging them. They were promising all kinds of career things and everything. Okay? Nothing came out of that. Nothing came out of their investigations. Las Vegas, Los Angeles, all of that. They closed that. They did. Yeah. Tiny and T.I., their name was somewhat cleared, I would say. I mean, if the prosecutors aren't coming forward if they've dropped cases, if they're saying there's nothing here, there's nothing. But Tyrone Blackburn has continued to practice law, and nobody has been held accountable for anything. We really don't know at all. Oh my God, is this Be a Boss, not a Boss B? How are you? I haven't seen you in a minute. How AI gives it up. It's easy to disappear someone or place someone where they're not. Oh my goodness. Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a minute. Shout out to you. I was actually thinking about you the other day because I was talking about some stuff with somebody else. I was like, whatever happened to Be a Boss, not a Bossy B? Shout out to you. Sylvia. Shout out to you. Okay. So nothing comes out of their investigation. T.I. and Tiny have moved on. So Tiny made a statement about Diddy's RICO victory, right? And so then here comes Sabrina Peterson, one of the accusers, out of nowhere, which, by the way, she has been found multiple times legally that she's lied, that, she filed a defamation case. Nothing came out of that. Like Sabrina Peterson has had loss after loss after loss. There's going to be a trial on the defamation part, which I would like to talk about, maybe cover, but that's a civil case. So I don't know how much information is going to come out of that. I would love, love, love to cover it, but that's out of Los Angeles. So we'll see what happens there. Okay. Nothing comes out. So Tiny and T.I. get some backlash because Tiny gave a statement about if there's nothing wrong with being freaky and using oil and yada yada yada, something like that. T.I. decides to give a statement and says the following after Sabrina Peterson heard Tiny say what she said. Sabrina Peterson said, "You guys are trafficking and you're using your son who had a trafficking victim." And she made some pretty explosive allegations. Listen to what T.I. had to say.
God has blessed us with this beautiful day. Don't take it for granted. Don't take this beautiful day for granted. Don't be out here spreading propaganda just because you unhappy with your life and yourself. Man, God has blessed you too, man. He got your blessings. Don't look to nobody else and point blame at somebody else because you ain't reached and tapped into your blessings yet. They coming, all right? All right? And furthermore, I be in D.C., man. I be in D.C. at the Improv. It's 2 more shows. The rest on sold out. Yeah, man. I'm just out here, man. Just thinking how beautiful it is today, man. You know, it's a beautiful day to not be a buster, man. It's a beautiful day to not hate on nobody. It's a beautiful day to not spread lies and to not be negative. It's a beautiful day, man, to mind your business. It's a beautiful day, bro. God has blessed us with this beautiful day. Don't take it for granted. Don't take this beautiful day for granted. Don't be out here spreading propaganda just because you unhappy with your life and yourself. Man, God has blessed you too, man. He got your blessings. Don't look to nobody else and point blame at somebody else because you ain't reached and tapped into your blessings yet. They coming, all right? All right? And furthermore, I be in D.C., man. I be in D.C. at the...
Okay. Sabrina Peterson says, Tiny T.I., I think I talked about this already. This is Sabrina Peterson in the middle. She is basically making allegations that are pretty explosive. And this is her IG, Sabrina Peterson. Don't make me drop the trafficking receipts, you nasty piece of ish. Don't taunt your victims. They are letting you live now. Sabrina, every time you come forward, you bring nothing. It's been years of this. Sabrina, it's time. Like you literally, you keep going to court and you keep losing. Okay. So she says, and by the way, 31 victims in 2021 and nothing came out of that. Nothing came out of that. So either you were really, really mad about Tiny and T.I. not being part of that circle anymore, or there are 31 victims and something happened and they just disappeared. What happened there? Huh? Go back to being quiet, Sabrina Peterson says. The girl's family contacted my attorney because her child is in a web of rugs, an institution led by the Harris family. I don't believe anything. Sabrina, you will do everything for clout. You will do everything for clout. I don't know if I believe you. I don't. You've lost a lot in your little case out of California. What is going on? Why you put out here? So basically, she literally, let me tell you how fucked up this is, okay? She puts this out here. Does the girl know? Does the girl know that you're putting this out here on social media? You think that's okay for a victim if that's what you're saying she is? Does she know? I have been quiet too long. No, you haven't. In 2021, you said there was 31 victims. You and Tyrone Blackburn were collecting these victims. You and Tyrone Blackburn were going on social media, making these statements, and then nothing came out of it. I have been quiet too long. You should have shut the F up, nasty something bag. You made your wife eat every box in ATL. Get a ring at tip. Then she drops the receipt, passing the same girls off to their sons. This next message is between the trafficked girl and King. Let's read that message, which, by the way, I have read it and it's nothing. It says nothing. Hey, WPS. Hey, you been good? Yes, I'm gonna be out there next week. Bet just LMK what you know what you got going on. I'm gonna hit you up. How you been? Hey friend, you good? One sec. I'm gonna pull up, love. I just got home. I'm gonna shower and get dressed. What does this message say? Nothing. It doesn't say anything. You just dropped a note or a message of a girl that you said is being trafficked by the Harrises and being passed on to King, and there's nothing in this message. What do we learn here? Nothing. That's it. There's been nothing. Nothing. Nothing happened. Anyways, so I think we just have to be kind of more careful of the things that are being said and everything. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Um, Shout out to everybody. You say you laughing, LOL rabbit. Yeah. She's Sabrina Peterson is not credible. I told you guys. If she had in 2021, I'm telling you, I did a whole deep dive about this whole situation. Nothing came out of it. Nothing. Sabrina Peterson was part of this little. I think that, in my opinion, I don't know if this is for a fact. My opinion. Sabrina Peterson and Tiny had a little thing going on. Okay. And Tiny and T.I., they're known to have like a different kind of lifestyle. They're known for their, differentness, right? That's on them. Whatever. Adults, as long as they're consenting. Nobody gives a shit. It is what it is. As long as they're consenting. Nobody's being rugged. Nobody, right? So it was said that the reason why Sabrina Peterson is mad at Tiny and T.I. is because Sabrina wanted Tiny to herself. That's what it was. They weren't having it. They let her go. So then here comes Sabrina Peterson making all kinds of allegations that were like, he put a gun in my head, he did a bunch of things, and T.I. did this. And that could have very well been the case. I really don't know. But then she went on social media and did like a whole live stream of this lie detector test, which we know is invalid if you're on social media doing it. They went to court over this. Nothing came out of that. Okay. Tiny and Tyrone Blackburn and Sabrina got together and concocted a bunch of things that nothing came out of that. This is where Tyrone Blackburn got his name from, this whole situation. Nothing came out of it. And he wanted clout. I mean, he even put the lawsuit on his website and the headlines on the website. Listen, Tiny and T.I. could be the biggest freaks of the ATL. It is what it is, but nothing came out of that. And 31 people, what happened? How do you go from 31 people to 0? The government investigated, nothing came out of that. Different states. I mean, you're talking about a RICO that should have come out of that investigation, and nothing came out of it. And you know what? Tiny and T.I., they countersued Sabrina, and she lost. And what did Sabrina say? I'm broke. I can't even pay the fees. My glam university doesn't make that kind of money. Like, what? And she's still at it? And she's still at it. She doesn't have the best reputation out of ATL. She really doesn't. Like, it's so crazy to me. So crazy to me that this has happened. I don't know. And don't forget when Sabrina She assaulted a woman. This is why she went to prison. She assaulted a woman. I think she like stabbed her or something like that. She went to prison. I think her name was Megan. I'll never forget because I think Tasha K had done an interview with Megan, right? And she assaulted a woman by stabbing her. Stabbed her. Sabrina Peterson is no angel whatsoever. That whole situation goes deep. It goes really deep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shakana got involved too. That goes deep too. It's so crazy. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments about this whole situation that we just reviewed. Shout out to everybody in the chat. B Tim, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. Spurs, and thank you so much for the 199. Shout out to everybody. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all are amazing. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I gotta go because I'm tired. I'll probably be live later tonight, but I gotta rest my voice. Make sure you guys check out the videos that I dropped yesterday. I dropped a Jared Leto video yesterday. Please check it out and let me know what you guys think. And I will see you guys on the next one. You like my scrunchie? Thank you. Thank you. All right. Bye, guys. Hit the like button. Bye, guys.